Sorry, guys, I got cut off. I'm going to pick up right here on line 40. If beggars interest the gods, if there are furies pent in the dark to avenge a poor man's wrong, then may Antinous meet his death before his wedding day. Then Eupeithes' son Antinous, enough. Eat and be quiet where you are, or shamble elsewhere. Unless you want these lads to stop your mouth, pulling you by the heels or hands and feet over the whole floor till your back is peeled. But now the rest were mortified, and someone spoke to the crowd of young bucks to rebuke him. A poor show that, hitting this famished tramp, bad business. If he happened to be a god, you know they go in foreign guise, the gods do, looking like strangers, turning up in towns and settlements to keep an eye on manners, good or bad. So now some of the men are kind of speaking up like, whoa, Antinous, that was a little much. But at this notion, Antinous only shrugged. Telemachus, after the blow his father bore, sat still without a tear, though his heart felt the blow. Slowly he shook his head from side to side, containing murderous thoughts. Penelope, on the higher level of her room, had heard the blow and knew who gave it. Now she murmured, "Would God you could be hit yourself, Antinous, hit by Apollo's bowshot." And Eurynome, her housekeeper, put in, "He and no other? If we all pray for came to pass, no one would live till dawn." Her gentle mistress said, "Oh, Nan, they are a bad lot. They intend ruin for all of us. But Antinous appears a blacker-hearted hound than any. Here is a poor man come, a wanderer, driven by want to beg his bread, and everyone in the hall gave bits to cram his bag. Only Antinous threw a stool and banged his shoulder." So she described it, sitting in her chamber among her maids, while her true lord was eating. Then she called in the forester and said, "Go to that man on my behalf, Eumaeus, and send him here so I can greet and question him. Abroad in the great world, he may have heard rumors about Odysseus, may have known him." Lively action continues in the great hall, where another beggar attempts to bully Odysseus. Antinous mockingly arranges a boxing match between the two, which Odysseus wins. Telemachus orders the disorderly crowd to leave for the evening. Surprised by his authority, the suitors obey, giving Odysseus and Telemachus time to remove all weapons from the hall as part of their preparation for battle. So they're taking all of the weapons out of there and hiding them. Then Odysseus goes to meet his wife for the first time in nearly 20 years. OMG! Carefully, Penelope began, "Friend, let me ask you first of all, who are you? Where do you come from? Of what nation and parents were you born?" And he replied, "My lady, never a man in the wide world should have a fault to find with you. Your name has gone out under heaven like the sweet honor of some God-fearing king who rules in equity over the strong. His black lands bear both wheat and barley, fruit trees laid and bright, new lambs at lambing time, and the deep sea gives great hauls of fish by his good strategy, so that his folks fare well. Oh, my dear lady, this being so, let it suffice to ask me of other matters, not my blood, my homeland. Do not enforce me to recall my pain. My heart is sore, but I must not be found sitting in tears here in another's house. It is not well forever to be grieving. One of the maids might say, or you might think I had got maudlin over cups of wine." And Penelope replied, "Stranger, my looks, my face, my carriage were soon lost or faded when the Achaeans crossed the sea to Troy. Odysseus, my lord among the rest. If he returned, if he were here to care for me, I might be happily renowned. But grief instead heaven sent me. Years of pain. Sons of the noblest families on the islands, Dulcium, same wooded Zacynthus with native Ithacans are here to court me against my wish, and they consume this house. Can I give proper heed to guest or suppliant or herald on the realm's affairs? How could I? Wasted with longing for Odysseus, while here they press for marriage." So she doesn't know that this is her husband sitting in front of her, but she's telling him how much she's longed for her husband and how she's stayed loyal to him.